learn a skill that can either save someone their time, save their money, or make them money. So that's the value. I mean, it's important to have some sort of vision of how you want your life to be in the future, but it's not overly critical that you have each step laid out. Your vision should act more as a guideline. In life, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and from those mistakes, you're going to learn.
Digital Nomad's most trusted one-stop shop travel bestie. Make your move.
Welcome to Nomadify On Air, the place that takes you on a journey to learn the world of remote working and to understand the lifestyle of digital nomads in hopes to inspire you to escape the 9-to-5. I am Bernadette, the host and founder of Nomadify On Air, and live with me today in the island of Gods, Bali, Indonesia is Ezzy.
Hello.
From Indonesia.
Indonesian, but I'm still a nomad.
Can you tell us something about you and what do you do or your business?
Sure. My name is Ezzy. I'm 24 years old. I am Indonesian. However, I grew up outside of Indonesia and I just recently moved back last year. I make websites, to put it very simply. Very, very simply, I make websites.
And how did you become a digital nomad and what inspired you to pursue this lifestyle?
Well, prior to, let's say, getting into this work, into this field of making websites and becoming digital nomad and all that, I worked in hotels. Right? I worked in a hotel in Dubai for about 3.5 years. And then 2020 hit, and we all know what happened in 2020. And, we had the whole worldwide pandemic going on, and hotels, hospitality, service, travel, F&B, everything just got shut down unfortunately by the pandemic. So I thought to myself, this field, this hospitality field is not really stable in terms of if there's something that happens again in the future, and it's very, very rigid also in terms of you're stuck in one place and you have to abide by that geographical location. So from there, I decided, let me try my hands on different kind of things, since now we all have so much free time. I'm sure a lot of people, during
Adapted.
that quarantine,
Yeah.
they learned new skills and, they tried new things and they found new passions. So for me, that was the reason why I decided to move from hotels into web design. Web design, I just, I played around a little bit. I played around with game development. I played around with graphic design. I played around with coding.
You started from scratch?
From scratch.
Oh my god.
Self-taught.
Smart boy.
I mean, the thing is, with the internet, you can learn everything. And nowadays, especially nowadays, with the rise of AI, I'm telling you, you could learn a lot just by yourself. A lot.
I agree.
So, yeah, freedom and more flexibility and pivoting from one thing to another. That's why.
Amazing. Actually, one of the questions would be, what would you advise to inspiring digital nomads, and what skill do they need to learn to be successful in this lifestyle?
Well, first of all, the skill that you need to have would be, most importantly, you need to be able to work online, of course. And second of all, it needs to be something that is very valuable, something that is something that you can offer value to others. Now, let's say for me, for example, I make websites. I know there's a lot of website builders like Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, Webflow if you're really into it, if you're a little bit more advanced. I know people can just do it themselves, but the value that I offer is I save you time. I do it a bit more professionally, and just all around, you're just gonna have a better end product, and you can focus on doing things that make you more money, that has more value to you. So my advice would be to learn a skill that can either save someone their time, save their money, or make them money. So that's the value.
Which brings me to the quote that find rich people problems, you get rich people prizes.
Exactly.
Solve rich people problems, you get rich people prizes.
Exactly.
That's so amazing. Yeah, because there's a lot of people who have all the money in the world but don't have time.
That, exactly. So if you're able to save someone time, you're providing them so much value. Because the thing is with money, you can always get money back. You lose money, you can always get money somehow. But with time, that is literally the one resource that we do not
you can
have.
never do.
Never.
Exactly.
Never.
Even the 0.001 second earlier, you can never get
Never.
it back. And there's a lot of people like that, like more than you can imagine. There's a lot of people who has like, they want to just, I'll just attend. Let me just pay. Like, I don't want to do like the dirty work. So that's very, very smart. And I think it's, how long did it take you to like learn this skill from scratch though?
Oof. Let's say it took me maybe about 6 to 8 months before I landed my first client.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And during that, let's say 6 to 8 months, I was still technically hired by my previous company.
Okay.
But I was like put on furlough. I was put at home, and I was paid like 25% of my full salary because quarantine and all that. But then once I started to get a little bit more confident in my skill, you know, I was maybe 60% confident in creating sites and all that. I decided, you know what, I need to step out of my comfort zone. I need to just go for it, because you honestly learn so much more when you're under pressure. And well, for me at least, when I'm under pressure and when I have an incentive, you know, so the incentive would be there's negative and there's positive incentive. The negative incentive is, if I don't make money from this, I just recently quit my job, so I'm literally gonna be on the streets. The positive incentive would be, I'm gonna learn new things and I'm gonna get money and I can live on.
Freedom.
Basically. Exactly that.
Amazing. So for future employers of Ezzy, you know, rewards and recognition is what will work for him. He needs incentive in order to do that. So do you think that enrolling in like boot camps would help people who aspire?
Yeah, boot camps, they would help. Yeah, they would definitely help. However, you know, you still have to have that, let's say, passion, that drive inside. Because just by attending something doesn't mean that you're gonna excel at it. It's not like, oh, I can just pay for something, attend it. Same with degrees. And if I go to med school, oh yeah, I pay for that, I'm gonna coast 3 or 4 years. Well, you know, it's kind of a waste of money and time if I'm not really in it. You need to also, outside of your, let's say, dedicated learning time, you know, you need to have an interest outside of that as well. So for boot camps, definitely that will help. But I would advise for anyone getting into web design, web development, to have prior knowledge before enrolling yourself into a boot camp first. So yeah, learn a little bit more, read into it. Same with everything. Like, you need to have a base understanding, overview. You know, play around, just see if it is something that interests you, and if you feel that, okay, I like this, and it tickles your fancy, and you know, you find yourself, even in your off time, or if you're in just chilling, you're researching more about it, you're watching YouTube videos, then that's when you know, okay, maybe it's time to take it a bit more serious.
And there's a lot of free like certifications right now online, right? Like even Google offers like certifications like that, which is a good credential. So relative to what you mentioned earlier, I'm curious, like before you took the leave and booked your flight here in Bali and stayed here in Bali, would you say that you had it all figured out, or you just picked things up along the way?
Oof, no, absolutely not. No, I did not have it all figured out at all. I was far from it. I'm still very far from it, but you know, we live each day, one day at a time, and you figure things out one step at a time. I mean, it's important to have some sort of vision of how you want your life to be in the future, but it's not overly critical that you have each step laid out. Your vision should act more as a guideline. You know, in life you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and from those mistakes you're gonna learn. So think of a vision as like guardrails.
Okay.
So this is where I want to be in 25 years. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get there, but every time I make a mistake, it's gonna get me closer to, because I'm gonna keep bouncing until I reach that vision.
And
right?
Success is never linear. Like it's really like you're a work in progress, and everyone is, so just go for it. Exactly.
Everyone's a work in progress till they take their last breath, you know, so there's always improvements to be made, there's always things that you can do, so
that is so inspiring. So what would you say, like, the challenges you have faced so far by working remotely, and how have you overcome it?
Oof. Work-life balance. That's something that I'm still working on, because before, when I was working in an office in a hotel, all right, these are my hours, 9 to 5. Well, in hotel actually it's 9 to 8, something like that. But you're working for someone else, and there's a set time schedule, so okay, I'm working here. After that, I'm free. I'm living. Right now, when you're working for yourself, with yourself, by yourself, it's a little bit more difficult to put an end to that. The lines blur, and work life, it becomes working life. It's not work-life balance.
Learning when to stop.
Yeah, learning when to stop. Learning to go out a bit more. Just force yourself.
Work hard, party harder.
Yeah, I need to work on that still.
But yeah, it's 100% relatable, because even for me, I always tell my friends Bali made me lazy. Like, not in a bad way, but technically, because in Manila, like, the prices that you rent a condo, you're just gonna get a bare unit. No other services. But here, when you pay like 6 million, you get free water, free electricity, free Wi-Fi, and there's someone who cleans your room 2 times a week. I don't even make my bed here. That's what I tell my sister, I don't really make my bed here. So Bali really made me lazy. So that's 100% relatable. So speaking of that, why did you choose Bali though among other places?
Well, I grew up in Dubai, so when I came back here, my options were either Balikpapan, which is my hometown. Not much going on there. It's a port city. There's not much in terms of.
Shout out to those.
Yeah, shout out to Balikpapan people. But for me, I'm more comfortable around, let's say, foreigners, because the language, the culture, and everything. Or Jakarta, but then Jakarta just has a lot of traffic and rain and flooding, and it's just not. And my sister's already here, and it's Bali. Come on now. It's everyone knows where Bali is. If I say Bali, you're gonna be like, oh, I know where it is. But if I say Indonesia, foreigners are gonna be like, huh?
Yeah.
Where's that? So.
And even bloggers, they always say like, one of my favorite countries as a digital nomad is Bali. Yeah. They call Bali like a country.
Exactly. It's like people know where it is, but not where it's in. It's funny. It's hilarious.
So yeah. Geography 101, Bali is an island.
Yeah.
Not a country.
Or a village.
So how does remote working setup affected your personal life?
My personal life? Well, it has definitely given me more freedom in terms of the kind of work that I want to pursue, and also the amount of hours that I want to put into said work. Right, and also the research and everything else that goes around my actual work. As you can probably already tell by now, I'm saying a lot of work, but not really going out and all that. But yeah, I mean, it is, with all this freedom, with great power comes great responsibility, and my responsibility.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, with my responsibility, I'm putting it right now, a lot of it towards working. There's not much of personal life matter, let's say so. Later.
Trying to be safe, huh?
Yeah.
But you're in a digital nomad hotspot where there's a lot of there's already 25 beach clubs here, and you're barely going out, huh?
I know. It's I'm just building a base, a foundation.
Okay.
Once I'm solid in what I in my offering, and let's say I can actually provide a tremendous amount of value to other people that I'm connecting with, then I'd be more, let's say, comfortable, more secure in going out meeting new people, and be like, yeah, I can help you out this. Yeah.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
So this is a bit controversial, but how do you see dating and relationship in this type of lifestyle?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna use myself as
Why not?
My life is not that exciting, I'd say. But from what I've heard from a few of my friends, since Bali is, it's a transitory place, kind of space. It is a hub for digital nomads, like you say, and as digital nomads, they're not permanent. They're not likely to be permanent in Bali. So there's a lot of relationship that, for, let's say, 6 months, a year maximum, maybe. So it's very short term.
Superficial, on the surface.
Yeah, I had
People
a
come
friend.
and go.
Yeah, I had a friend who grew up here. She's Indonesian, but then she moved to Australia. We were just talking the other day, and she told me that all the men in she's a woman, so she said all the men in Bali are recycled. I was like, oh, okay, well,
Dumb side.
Yeah.
But they say the plastics are from Java.
yeah, exactly. I don't
Shout
know.
out to all the men in Bali. I think she's not the first one who say that Tinder in Bali is bad. Like we also have one guest here last week. He said, like, I asked him a question about dating, and he said Tinder in Bali is bad. Like straight up. So yeah, enter at your own risk.
Yeah,
I'd say.
exactly that. Exactly.
So I guess my final question would be, if there's one thing you would advise to your old self before you even became a digital nomad, what would you tell him?
Take chances. Don't be afraid, and you don't need to have it all figured out. Live your life one step at a time. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, that's so sweet. We're all healing our inner child here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ezzy.
First.
A massive thank you for being here.
Yeah.
How would our viewers find you? Can you please plug your website?
Yeah,
for
sure.
collaborations?
If you would like to have me take a look at your site, give it a free audit, reach out to me at ezzy@ravenvirtual.com, or you can go to my website, ravenvirtual.com.
Just so you know, Ezzy also audited my website, so I would highly recommend his services.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, thank you. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Being open to things that are beyond our expectation is very important. Think out of the box so much. Think about the future. Think about the potential future. It's like everything happens for a reason that you make up after the event happens.